Welcome to the Stuart Siegel Center on the campus of Virginia Commonwealth University, where this evening it is women's basketball action. VCU hosting North Carolina A&T in the final non-conference tune-up for both of these squads. Both of these squads picked first in those conferences. More on that in a moment. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are thrilled to have you along for the ride for what should be an entertaining, competitive ball game. My name is Jeff Milby. My typical partner over the last season and a half, Vanessa Moore, away today. So I'm joined by a man that, if you are a fan of VCU basketball over the years, you will be eminently familiar with, Mr. John J. Schwartz. How are you, sir?
Well, you went ugly early with me because Vanessa's so pretty. You had to have me come in. No, thank you very much. It's great to be back. It's great to be here. This is like home to me. I love it, and I appreciate the opportunity, Jeff. Thank you. And what makes it more interesting is I know Terrell Robinson very well, and he was here for 3 years as assistant head coach to Beth Cunningham. So it's kind of a nice reunion night of all these things. But I'm excited.
Yeah, Terrell Robinson, the head coach of North Carolina A&T in his 8th season in charge at his alma mater, where he was a men's basketball player. And as you mentioned, spent some time on the VCU bench as an assistant under former Ram head coach Beth Cunningham. Well, I mentioned it off the top. These are two teams with a lot of expectations on their back, both picked first in the conference. North Carolina A&T out of the MEAC, and of course VCU in the Atlantic 10. And this is the final time that they can work out those kinks before starting conference play. A very important game in the course of the non-conference schedule this
Well,
week.
it really is, because the Rams have stuttered and stopped and played well and then played poorly, and they've struggled because of a lot of illness. They've had a lot of injuries that they've had to overcome from the key players, and they've finally gotten through that. In the last couple of outings, they've shown that they're together again. And I think you're beginning to see what we expected out of this ball club this year. And so we'll see what happens tonight. Whereas with North Carolina A&T, they beat a Clemson team. You don't go in the ACC and beat anybody, and they did. So, I'm not sure they know who they are either. But I'm only worried about my VCU Rams, and that's all I'm going to think about.
Yeah, VCU last time out, a 16-point victory over UC Riverside over a week ago. They have won 2 of their last 3, but as you mentioned, John, an up-and-down start to the season at 5-7. But the conference games are where it counts. A team looking for their second-ever NCAA tournament bid, and if they can get the momentum rolling right now, it would be a key time for the Rams ahead of a difficult Atlantic 10 schedule. No one's going to underestimate VCU this year coming in as the pick.
No, they won't at all, and Bethel Bull's ready for that, and she's had these ladies prepared for that. She's talked to them about it. She's a great coach, doing a wonderful job. And she's got her leadership back. Taya Robinson particularly, Nia Williams, having those ladies really at the top of their game will make a big difference. And they've been playing that way lately. And I think you're going to see more of that tonight and hopefully as we go into the big A-10 conference schedule.
Yeah, Tara Reed, the returning leading scorer. She had her season-high 18 points in that win over UC Riverside. Taya Robinson, the second leading returning scorer, also had a season high with 14 in the win the last time out. Starting lineups for each of these teams. For VCU, it is the typical lineup you would expect. Taya Robinson, Naira Williams in the backcourt, Sydney Archie, Tara Reed the forwards, and Danielle Hammond down low. And on the other side for North Carolina A&T, it's Micaiah Wilson, CeCe Foy, Deja Winters, Alexis Lasiers, and Leon Hill. North Carolina A&T in the blue. And we are underway with VCU in the home whites. It'll be Ram basketball to start here after it was tapped out of bounds. There's Naira Williams, the senior point guard for this Rams squad.
Rams will face a zone very early because of their shooting ability. But in North Carolina A&T, we'll see how that changes as the game goes on.
Yeah, VCU, not a prolific three-point shooting team to this point in the season, just 27%. Here's Robinson on the drive, and a double dribble, it looks like, on the call, so it'll be a turnover right away. And that's something that Beth O'Boyle, when I spoke to her pregame, was very concerned about. This North Carolina A&T team likes to turn you over. And with a senior-laden, experienced team that's been to the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago for the Aggies, not a great start on the first possession for VCU. But they return the favor here as it goes off the foot of an Aggie, and that's going to be a jump ball. It'll stay with A&T.
I wonder whether, because of the tap that went out of bounds, whether that jump ball situation shouldn't have changed. It should have still been VCU's ball, but that's an official question later.
So here we go for A&T. This is Winters, guarded by Robinson, and trying to get it over to Micaiah Wilson. Nearly lost it, and now she does, as Reed couldn't handle it on the sideline. It'll stay with North Carolina A&T. Just 3 seconds on the shot clock.
Good double-team trap by Robinson and Reed that time when the ball got loose. Their defense has really been good. Their offense is where they've had the struggle.
So again, 3 seconds to shoot here, and I don't think North Carolina A&T knows it. As the shot clock goes off, the shot did go off before the buzzer and nearly went in from C.C. Foy, who is a big-time player for this program, as Reed is short on the jumper from about the foul line area. And now North Carolina A&T trying to run. Goes off the backboard, and Robinson claims it.
Got her head up, looking to make a pass down floor. Nobody's open. She'll put it back, and they'll control it.
So here's Taya Robinson, the junior from the Richmond area locally. Nice find to Reed underneath, and Tara Reed is fouled and will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, that kind of leadership that comes, and people overplay Taya a lot because she's so strong. She can beat you inside, she can beat you outside. And that time they did and gave Tara a chance to get a layup, and she got fouled.
So Reed to the free throw line, shooting 68% so far on the season as Cinia McCray enters the game. Number 3 you see on your screen there. Reed good on the free throw. Tara Reed, the junior from Auckland, New Zealand. Atlantic 10 first team in the preseason. Has battled injury entering the year. Missed some time at the beginning of the season and is now finally rounding into form at the right time for VCU. Foy on the drive. Kicks to the corner with McCray. And this is Wilson up top.
Yeah, it's been a while with their passes and getting the Rams a chance to really face some tough defense, as you see right there.
Hill with the entry pass. It's blocked by Hammond on the shot from LaSears, and now it's taken away. VCU comes up with the basketball. Naira Williams bringing it into front court. And now here's Reed into the action again. The floater and an offensive foul against Tara Reed will send it the other way.
Yep. She kind of got trapped that time going deep on the baseline. One step too far. Could have probably stopped and taken a jump shot a little sooner.
But certainly a good sign to see her aggressively going to the basket early on.
Absolutely.
Beth O'Boyle pregame said, "We go as they go," in reference to Taya and Tara, the two leaders for this team in so many ways, statistically and not statistically as well. As another jump ball here. This time it'll be VCU ball.
Well, that was Terrell Robinson right now. I'd be wondering what is going on with this basketball. They've thrown it all over the floor and only gotten one good shot off in the first, 3.5 minutes.
Sofia Pashagareva into the game for the first time for VCU, number 15, the backup center now. Started over 40 straight games in her career, but has been replaced by Danielle Hammond in that starting lineup over the last several games. And the full court press here from A&T forces a VCU turnover.
Well, you don't like to see that.
McCray right into some trouble, and now wide open underneath is Jones Pack for the easy basket.
A&T going to a full court pressure. Surprised VCU on the last possession.
Now Williams gets into the paint, flips it up too strong. Fight for the rebound goes to A&T with Foy. The MEAC preseason player of the year, C.C. Foy. Nearly had a triple-double her last time out, but here Tara Reed is fouled, trying to take it into front court, and Foy whistled for the infraction.
She tried to make a move to the basket, and Tara got her hands up on the ball and stole it from her. And then Foy was so upset she pushed her right in front of the official, and you get away with a foul. Good call.
There you see head coach Beth O'Boyle in her typical crouched position on the sideline. 2-all, 3 minutes gone by. Here's Madison Haddix Covington checking in for the first time. She had 8 points last time out and is a big scoring threat off the bench for the Rams. And here she is underneath with a good cut, but can't finish. And the rebound will go to McCray of North Carolina A&T. Foy the drive, the pull-up, that's good.
Yeah, that's a good move. Shows you how strong she really is to the basket and how quick she gets off the floor.
CeCe Foy, the senior from Fayetteville, North Carolina, transferred from Alabama, where she spent her freshman year, closing in on 1,000 points for her career. For the Rams, here's Sydney Archie spinning in the paint, and that one rolls in.
Just like her daddy, get it up there soft and let it roll around. A former VCU Ram, men's player.
Of course, in the late 90s, was the leading scorer for a couple of seasons for the Rams. On the turnover, here's Haddix Covington, and she is hacked from behind. A hard foul, but she's up off the floor and will head to the free throw line.
Keep your eyes up. Look down the floor when you get the basketball in the back court. Robinson did that, made the long court pass, and got the layup.
Foul goes against Hill. Already 3 team fouls against North Carolina A&T. Just over 4 minutes gone by in the opening quarter.
That's where Bethel Bull gets to play her army, too. By going deep to her bench, she's already made 4 substitutions already today in the first 5 minutes.
And there you see the latest one, Ksenia Maleshka, sophomore from Belarus, who had a nice game her last time out, had 8 points off the bench. Has battled injury this season as well, missed a couple of games early on. McCray the drive and a blocking foul against Naira Williams.
Ooh, can I have a second opinion? My Lord. Wouldn't want to replay that again for you, huh, ref?
First personal against Williams. It'll be an out-of-bounds situation under the basket with Foy to inbound. Kennedy Boyd, number 1, into the game for the first time as McCray is good on the 2-point jumper.
Yeah, they're a pretty good shooting team from positions like that. You got to really be careful. Can't give them too much room on the outside.
Haddix Covington guarded by Foy. Kicks it to the corner. Maleshka, a 3-point threat, though she has struggled so far this season. Underneath, Pasha Gareva goes to the left hand. No good. Offensive board. Put back no good from Haddix Covington, and the rebound goes to Jones Pack.
Got to get your hands up and keep them up against this team because they're going to shoot quick. See?
Foy steps inside the arc. Too strong. Offensive board for Hill. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by VCU. There's Danny Hammond checking in, but that'll take us to the under 5 timeout. It's a close one so far. North Carolina A&T by 1 over VCU in the final non-conference game for both squads. So far, a slow start for VCU on the offensive end, just 1 of 6 from the floor. They've turned it over 3 times. The good news, they've gotten to the foul line. Already 3 of 4 from the charity stripe, and they've forced 5 turnovers on the defensive end.
They're
North
getting
Carolina
the shots
A&T
they
with a
want.
1-point lead.
Yeah, they're getting the shots they want. They're just not going in right now. They'll be all right. This defense will help. It's got to stop the outside shooting of North Carolina A&T.
McCray, guarded by Reed, splits the defenders and puts it in off the glass. Senia McCray with a couple of early baskets. She's got 4 points. And North Carolina A&T extends the lead. This is deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with VCU. Last touch by Jones Pack down low.
Rams keep making substitutions to get fresh players on the floor. Nobody's playing, in abundance of 30 minutes or something. They're all playing in that 20 range, which is good as the season progresses.
A very deep team this year for VCU, and they're finally getting healthy here at the end of 2019. Haddix Covington puts up a 3-pointer. That one rims out. Maleshka right there for the offensive board.
Yeah, as hot as it is outside, you're getting cold shooting in here.
Here's Robinson from the opposite corner, and that's good. A 3-pointer for Taya Robinson, and that ties the game at 8.
I spoke too soon. See, I should have said that earlier. That it scored more.
Great sign for VCU. As we mentioned, not a prolific 3-point shooting team typically, but Taya Robinson, a nice game her last time out. 1 of 3 from 3-point land, had 14 points. And on the other end, a 3-pointer right back at you with Deja Winters for North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, there's no bashfulness there. They're shooters. That game is perimeter, not inside. And they're showing that already.
Deja Winters coming off of a big-time game her last time out as Williams kicks it over to Haddix Covington. Robinson back to Williams. Winters had 27 points and was 6 of 14 from three-point land as that's a travel against Danny Hammond, and that'll turn it over.
Yep, she stepped too far. Just tell you in the corner, watch this. Good pass from Williams. Bingo, give it 3. She got it.
Boyd walking it up. And Robinson with a hand on it to the corner. This is McCray, too strong. And Haddix Covington with the rebound and pushing it up herself. They swing it around. Here's Maleshka. She puts up a long jumper. Rims out. Foy the rebound.
Got to go to the glass.
CC Foy all the way. Too strong off the glass. And now Haddix Covington leaking out ahead of the field. Here's Haddix Covington to the rim.
You got to take off and go in a situation like that, and they saw it. That's why Williams is your leader, your senior point guard. Eyes open down the floor all the time.
VCU getting out on the break after the miss. Jones packed to the left hand, and that's good. A nice move down low for Jayla Jones-Pack. Williams looking for Hammond. It's knocked out of her hands and will stay here with the Rams as Sydney Archie checks in for VCU.
Yeah, Williams beat everybody back down the floor that time and just didn't get it off. Good defense by A&T to get in front of Danny because Danny was going to lay it up.
Yataria Coleman checks in for the first time for North Carolina A&T. As you see, Tara Reed also checking into the game. And Hill re-enters the action for the Aggies as well. So a couple of substitutions on either side. Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Reed fakes the three, now steps into a two-pointer. Well short. Battle for the rebound goes to Archie. Good hustle from Sydney underneath.
Didn't hit the glass, didn't hit a rim. They better get it off.
Robinson with 5 to shoot. Archie another offensive board, puts it back up, no good. And it'll be A&T ball as it goes out of bounds. Last touch by VCU. And there's an Aggie down on the floor at the moment.
Yeah, that kind of thing will drive you crazy when you miss that many easy shots inside, bouncing around like that. Rams just couldn't get it to fall. Did everything right except put it in the basket. That makes it tough.
And the North Carolina A&T player down on the floor is Micaiah Wilson, getting treatment from the Aggie training staff. So Beth O'Boyle, as you see on your screen, with an impromptu timeout to talk to her team. Just 3 of 13 to start from the floor for VCU.
Yeah, shooting's been it's interesting how both the men's and the women's teams are suffering from the same problem a little bit. But the men cured it last night, and I think the women will cure it tonight before this is all said and done.
Wilson is up on her feet. You heard the round of applause from the crowd here at the Siegel Center. She's back to the bench. You see it there with the brace on the left knee. There's Terrell Robinson, the head coach for the Aggies. Has turned this program into a power in the MEAC. Went 16-0 last year in the regular season. And the year before that, overall 15-1 in the league and made an NCAA tournament bid as well. Jones-Pack underneath, steps right through some defenders and banks it in.
Gambled on defense, didn't work that time.
Reed pulls up from the free throw line and puts it in. Tara Reed with the jump shot.
Gives her some confidence. It's that little jumper.
And almost comes away with a steal on the defensive end. Tara Reed jumping into the passing lane. It'll stay here with A&T, though. Number 2, Chantel Bostic with the ball in her hands now. Her first action of the evening. Some miscommunication, nearly a turnover. Bostic in the corner and a lot of trouble. Trapped there with Reed and Hammond, and she turns it over. Archie picks it off.
The defense has been very good. They've done a lot of trapping to create these turnovers. That's turning into offense.
Final minute of the quarter. Archie the drive. Hammond the offensive board, and a foul on the floor will go against North Carolina A&T with Bostic whistled for the foul. First personal. 4th team foul against the Aggies in the quarter. couple of switches here for A&T. Foy comes into the game.
But they're going to get a last shot, they think, and so they'll bring their offensive strength in.
And Lassiers as well checks in. About a 2-second difference between shot and game clock here with the fresh shot clock following the foul for VCU. So the Rams just about can hold for the final shot if they elect to. Hammond trying to post up down low, and that's off of Tara Reed. It'll send it the other way with 16.2 to play in the quarter. Turnover number 5 committed by VCU. 6 committed by North Carolina A&T thus far as Haddix Covington checks in.
They're pretty evenly matched so far. Rams defense has done a good job, but the Aggies have shot real well. That's been the big difference.
7 seconds as Hill travels and will send it back with 5 seconds to play. VCU might just get that final shot of the quarter.
They got a 5-second play, you know that. Can almost guess what's going to happen here.
They get it into Robinson. Across midcourt, 2 seconds. Here's Taya Robinson, forced to put it up, and it rims out just short off the front rim, and that'll end the opening quarter. A good one so far. We thought it would be a good one between these two strong teams. It is North Carolina A&T by 3. Start to this one, VCU and North Carolina A&T, both teams looking to take a final non-conference victory before heading into league action in the new year. Up and down the stat sheet, evenly matched after the opening period. 9-8 rebounding in favor of A&T, as that basket is good underneath, and the foul for Lassiers. she'll head to the free throw line with a chance for one more.
They are very focused, very slow motion team when it comes to the offense, and they look for what works for them. You just have to defend it differently.
So Alexis Lassiers converts the three-point play, third team preseason All-MEAC.
Rams do a good job breaking that press. Let's see what happens.
Defensive foul here as Taya Robinson was bringing it down the sideline. It's going to go against Winters. It's her first personal foul and the first team foul of the quarter. And she will head to the bench, replaced by Jasmine Walton, a sophomore guard from Baltimore, in the lineup. Walton did not play in the Aggies' win over Clemson the last time out. She last played against UNC Greensboro a couple of games ago. As Hammond underneath, a great find against the zone defense, and Danielle Hammond converts down low.
Good play by VCU. Card A&T in that zone. They were kind of flat-footed. Danny got behind it. Got an easy layup.
Coach O'Boyle for VCU looking for big things from Danny tonight. Mentioned that she hoped it would be a big game for her given the way North Carolina A&T plays. Here's Walton getting into the paint. Short jumper, no good. And they'll say Sydney Archie had the last touch of it, so it'll stay with A&T. Hill to inbound. Bostic. Now Foy from the free throw line. Short. Follows her own shot, and the hustle play will reset the shot clock to 20 seconds with the offensive board.
Bounced too many times. Rams couldn't control it.
A&T by 4. Bostic driving against Naira Williams. Kicks it to the corner to Walton. And now underneath is Hill. Has it taken away. As the shot clock sounds, it'll be a violation against A&T.
Very good defense by VCU. Stop that play for AT&T of North Carolina A&T.
So the offensive rebound does not result in points that time.
That's right. So let's see if the Rams can come down here and convert. Cut this lead in half.
Here's Williams. Now Robinson, guarded by Walton. Backdoor cut to Reed. In traffic, draws contact and whistled. And she'll head to the free throw line defensive foul against A&T.
She's your best free throw shooter, so she's the right one to put on the line.
Goes against LeSears. It's her first personal. Second team foul in the quarter, and Tara Reid will head back to the free throw line where she's already been once today. A perfect 2 for 2, 4 points so far. And she knocks that one down. Tara, the leading scorer on the year, averaging just under 13 points per game. And that one's short. First free throw miss of the day for her. Cuts the lead to 3. Walton wide open on the baseline, gets right to the rim and banks it in.
Everybody they put in seems to be able to score. Rams got to come up with a solution to stop that.
Jasmine Walton with her first basket of the day. Averaging just under 5 points per game. Reed gets to the rim. No foul, and the shot might have been deflected on its way up. Here comes Walton the other way, and she lost the handle. Williams comes away with the turnover. Rams with numbers for the moment, as Walton now just getting back into your picture. They get it to Danny Hammond with great position down low, and a foul will go against A&T with LeSears.
Danny got down low, had herself posted in there, ready for a layup, ready to make that kind of move where you go left or right. She got fouled to prevent the shot, so the Rams get an out-of-bounds play.
Williams to inbound, not face guarded by anyone. She gets it into Reed. Pick and roll game with Hammond. Reed gets to the baseline, picks up her dribble. Now here's Robinson. Extra pass, and Archie had an open look but couldn't handle it. Pass was high from Robinson.
It's one of those times where you make one pass too many. Robinson should have probably just stopped and jump shot right there from the base, just outside the foul line extended. She had the open look and gave it to her teammate who thought had a better look. Not being critical, just telling you, different play, different format.
Just the 6th turnover committed by VCU against 9 committed for North Carolina A&T so far. So the Rams ahead in the turnover battle as Foy gets open and knocks down a baseline jump shot.
Can't leave her open like that. She's too good a shooter. Shows why she was all conference and player of the year last year.
CC Foy with 4 points now, 2 of 6 from the floor. Here's Archie. And now Reed guarded by Foy. Reed with the step to the corner. And the extra pass finds Archie. This is a 3, short. Rebound goes to Wilson for North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, they score here, you're going to get a timeout.
Walton the drive, cut off by Naira Williams. Now Jones-Pack with a mismatch against Madison Haddix-Covington. A big lineup on the floor here for North Carolina A&T. And the drive and the finish for Micaiah Wilson extends the lead to 9 for North Carolina A&T. Largest lead of the game. And a timeout for Beth O'Boyle. And we'll take the timeout ourselves. North Carolina A&T with a great start to the game. They lead it by 9 over VCU. Well, North Carolina A&T looking very comfortable on the road here at the Siegel Center. They lead it by 9 over VCU midway through the second quarter. It's their 3rd consecutive road game, and they're going to have a string of 4 road games coming up after they return home to open their conference schedule. So it's all in all 7 of 8 games on the road for North Carolina A&T, and you can see today that they are very comfortable away from home.
They're really hustling. They're doing a heck of a job.
Haddix-Covington over to Sophie Pashagreva, who has it blocked on her way up. Hill with the hands active up high. And a foul will go against Sydney Archie of VCU.
We're just not showing a level of aggressiveness on the offensive end we need to show. For some reason, we're a step slow down there. We got to pick up that pace a little bit and look. Make one more pass sometimes. Be a little crisper. And take that open shot.
Archie's 2nd foul, so she is replaced by Ksenia Maleshka in the VCU lineup. Here's Jones-Pack in the high post. Wilson getting around the hedge from Sophie Pashagareva, and Sophie commits the foul. 3 switches here for VCU. You get a look at Olga Petrova, her first action of the day. Leading 3-point shooter for VCU in terms of returning players. Shot nearly 41% last year. Is 3 of 8 so far in limited action due to injury as well. Danny Hammond also checks in. And Haddix Covington takes it away on the steal. Active hands. Rams need a basket. It's a 6-0 run in favor of North Carolina A&T. Maleshka with a little step through and draws contact and a foul. It's going to go against Hill.
That's what I was talking about, being a little more aggressive offensively. It's got to make something happen. Got to create it sometimes out of nothing.
They'll say the foul's in the act of shooting, so Maleshka will head to the free throw line. Winters checks in for A&T.
If it's 2 shots, why are they letting somebody in then?
Maleshka, a 57% free throw shooter on the year. In limited time at the foul stripe. Just 8 of 14 entering action today. And that one will roll in with the home bounce. So she cuts the lead to 8, 24-16. Full court press from VCU, and it results in a turnover. It looked like it was going to be an open look down low.
They're going to press right out of this. They've done a good job of that. That's kind of thrown the Rams off a little bit.
Pass went off the hands of Deja Winters, who just checked in. Petrova able to handle the pass nicely, and then gets across midcourt. Ball rolls over to Robinson, who settles things for VCU. Here's Taya Robinson, the drive, and the floater is good.
Yeah, you got to take over and make something happen. That's what she did that time.
She's got that move down pat. Gets right to her spot. Little fall-away floater. And now she comes up with a turnover on the other end. Rams running with numbers. Here's Haddix Covington into the paint, and an offensive foul. Wave off the basket. It will not count. And the charge against Madison Haddix Covington will result in a turnover.
Well, that's a good call from a standpoint of the call itself. The Rams doing a little bit of different pressuring right now, picking up the tempo, forcing A&T.
Nearly coming up with a turnover again. Taya Robinson diving into the table here on the near side with the deflection. Rams have forced 12 turnovers so far. Winning the turnover battle by a margin of 5 to this point. Here's Winters, and Robinson again knocks it away from behind. And Taya Robinson, a player that prides herself on her defensive effort, and over the last couple of seasons, we've seen her use defensive plays like that to jumpstart her offensive game.
That's what's going to have to happen tonight.
Robinson with 5 points, tied with Reed for the team lead thus far for VCU. Foy on the drive, a nice find to Jones-Pack. The hesitation and a foul will go against Maleshka.
Well, you really had to foul her because she had a really easy layup. So you either foul her or not foul her. But you had to foul her to stop the easy shot. And they did that. She'll get 2 free throws.
So Jayla Jones-Pack at the free throw line where she converts the first attempt. 13 of 23 entering action today from the charity stripe.
A little unusual motion, but it works. Whatever works for you. It's why it's called a free throw.
Pushes the lead back up to 8, and Jones-Pack now with 8 points to lead all scorers. Maleshka behind the back, went off of her foot. Regained the handle, closing in on the final 4 minutes of the half.
That's the way you want to cut that lead, certainly in half at this point, before you go in for the half, if you can't take it back over.
Petrova around a screen. Here's Robinson. That's a 3, too strong. Follows her own shot, and it'll be out of bounds. Actually, a foul will go against A&T. And McCray, I believe, whistled for the infraction. Great hustle from Taya Robinson on the defensive end, and then on this possession, great hustle on the offensive end to follow her own shot and get some free throws out of it.
Here's where we got to begin to make a difference.
Short on that attempt. VCU 5 of 9 from the foul line so far. Robinson shooting 69%, misses that one as well. 0 for 2 that trip.
They don't see that often.
Baseline drive for Walton. The reverse layup is off the underside of the rim. Petrova came away with the rebound. Here's Robinson on the run into Hammond, tied up, and an offensive foul against Danny Hammond.
Whoa,
as Foy is sent flying to the ground.
That's a tough call right there. The Rams just struggling right now, trying to figure it all out. Doing lots of things good, just can't get the game back in where they want it.
Foy against Robinson on the baseline, cross-court pass, and Winters traveled. 13th turnover committed by A&T.
Okay, ladies, here's where you want to go down and get a bucket. The Aggies do a good job of pressuring and making you walk the ball up a little bit.
Robinson around a couple of screens, and that's a two-pointer, and she puts it in. Taya Robinson with the jump shot. She's got 7.
Well, she's trying to take over the game. Sometimes you got to do that.
Wilson a little out of control. Here's McCray into the paint, the floater, and it'll be an offensive foul, I believe. Indeed, against McCray, the charge.
No, we get one there. That's good. Okay, now you go down again and try to make something happen.
Good defense over the last several minutes for VCU. No North Carolina A&T field goals over the last 3 minutes plus.
Well, there's been spurts in this thing. You know, I keep calling it 18, excuse me. The Aggies had a spurt and took it up to about 8-point lead, and then the Rams have now chipped away at it.
Archie checks back into the game, has the ball, and then throws it away. Foy with the deflection and the steal. Here's Foy to the rim with the left hand. CC Foy with an easy basket generated by the defense. She's got 6 points. Lead is back to 8 in favor of the Aggies. Reed to the corner. Here's Maleshka for 3. An offensive rebound for Tara Reed. Good hustle underneath. Williams. Maleshka for 3 again. That's good. This time for Ksenia Maleshka. She's got the stroke from the right wing. And that cuts it to a 5-point lead.
Yeah, penetrate, kick it back out to the open shooter. Comfort level, makes the 3.
Against the full court press, they get it into Foy down low, and a foul against VCU. It's going to be whistled against Hammond.
Well, they're both over the limit, so they'll be shooting 2.
And Pasha Gareva is going to check in to replace Hammond. That was just her first personal. Only Ram in any sort of foul trouble is Sydney Archie. So it'll send CC Foy to the free throw line. 70% free throw shooter on the season. And just 17 trips. Misses that one.
For somebody who's as smooth a shooter as her from the field, you'd think she'd have a smoother shot from the charity stripe, but she really doesn't if you look at the form.
That one is pure. So Foy
all right,
now
she
with
got
7 points.
Yeah, 3-point goal here. Cuts it in half. You got to keep chipping away at it. You're not going to get a 6-point play out of anything. So you chip it away right here. You got a 6-point game. If you get a 3 here, you've cut it in half. Go play defense. You might be surprised at what happens.
Active hands from Walton. Knocks it away. It'll stay with VCU. Final 90 seconds of the half.
Well, here's where you count them 3 for 2 type of thing, possession-wise.
Reed open in the corner. She's going to put it up. No good. And the rebound goes to Bostic. And a whistle and a foul down low will go against North Carolina A&T. Jones Pack called for the infraction.
Yeah,
battling for position with Sophie Pashagareva.
Pushed her right out of the way. Just stood there and just kind of backed her right out of the way, physically. Referee seeing it, watching it, made the call. So now you got a minute and a half to go. You probably have 2 possessions right here.
Final minute, in fact. Here's Reed. Cross-court pass to Maleshka with the pump fake. 10 seconds to shoot. They swing it around to the right corner. Reed steps in and is fouled.
But here once again, you get to put 2 up there. Keep chipping away at it, chipping away at it.
Tarai Reed just 1 of 5 from the floor, but this is already her 3rd trip to the free throw line. She's 3 of 4 so far. Has 5 points.
What we all know about shooters are they go cold, they go hot. So you'll take it right now the way you got it. You only got a 5-6 point difference before these 2 free throws.
VCU as a team just 5 of 10, now 6 of 11 from the free throw line. This could cut it to 4.
So now you play defense. You may get the ball back. If you can stop them from scoring, you'll get the ball back with a chance to cut it to either 2 or 1.
About a 15-second difference, as you're saying, John. And a takeaway for VCU. Taya Robinson with another steal. So now a 5-second difference between shot and game clock. The Rams can run some offense here.
Yeah, big possession right here.
Robinson, the pick and roll to Maleshka. Little fall away in the lane is well short. Foy there for the rebound. Shot clock is off. Under 10 seconds in the half. CC Foy. Taken away by Pashagareva with 4. 3. Here's Naira Williams into the free throw line. The teardrop is too strong, and that'll end the half.
Well, certainly Rams, not for lack of trying at the end there. They did a good job.
Rams cut the lead to 4. They've trailed by as many as 9 in this one, but it's North Carolina A&T with the advantage at the break. The score 29-25. Well, the non-conference schedule for VCU has been difficult. Lots of strong teams that the Rams have faced so far. Another one here today, North Carolina A&T, an NCAA quality program, Beth O'Boyle called them. And they lead it by 4, 29-25 over the Rams. Here's a look at that first half. Rams did a great job defensively, John. They forced 17 turnovers.
But the defense has been there. They've made a lot of good plays to turn it over. There's another one right there. Terrell gets fouled, goes to the line. The problem they've had is just haven't been able to score enough.
Yeah, Rams shot just 29% in the first half, 8 of 28 from the floor. North Carolina A&T, 57% from the floor. They hit 2 3-pointers, one of them there for Taya Robinson. And then here on the leak out, Madison Haddix Covington. She finished the half with 3 points, 1 of 4 shooting. Rams were led by Robinson and Reed, who had 7 apiece. Danny Hammond down low right there. That was her only bucket of the half and her only shot attempt as well. And then Taya Robinson here with that patented floater. She was 3 of 6 from the floor. Had a rebound and an assist as well. Around the screen there with the jump shot. And then Naira Williams, here's the other 3-pointer for VCU. Ksenia Maleshka from the right wing.
They're in it. I mean, they're really in it. I mean, just a matter of getting a little more movement in their offense. They showed it when they came back from that 9-point deficit. They got to a point where they were beginning to figure it out and show it some more. They were beginning to score, and they had some opportunities to cut this 4-point lead in half again. So I think we're in pretty good shape there. I think they've got the feel for the game finally, and we'll see what happens.
Still very much anyone's game. A 4-point lead for A&T. We'll take a look at each of the team's upcoming schedules when we return here at halftime. VCU is just 1-5 on the season when trailing at halftime, so that's a trend they will look to rectify in the second half. They trail North Carolina A&T by 4 at the break. The Aggies on the road here, and they will continue to be on the road over the next 5 games or so as they begin their conference schedule out of the MEAC. They will return home in the new year to face Florida A&M, and then it is 4 consecutive road games. That makes it 7 of their last 8. And by the time they get to that Morgan State game, it will be 7 of their last 8 that had been played on the road. They've played 2 road games entering action today. But so far, John, they've looked comfortable away from home.
Well, they're a good team, playing away from home. Terrell Robinson really does inspire in them the idea that you play to your strengths, whether you're sitting in front of your home crowd of 10,000 or whether you're sitting on the road in front of 10,000. It's all about what's going on in that 94 by 57, and so they've got it figured out pretty well. They've done a good job. VCU's just got to figure out their shooting rhythm. Once that happens, I think it changes the whole dynamics of the game. And he's prepared for it, as is Beth O'Boyle. So, it's like the minds are beginning to work real good on this one. The Rams have just got to get more fluid in their offense.
We'll take a look at VCU's upcoming schedule. The Atlantic 10 right around the corner for the Rams when we return. Final non-conference tune-up for VCU and for North Carolina A&T as well. The Aggies have a 4-point lead. They led by as many as 9 in that first half. And after this one, VCU will turn their attention to the Atlantic 10 schedule in the new year. Here's a look at it. A couple of road games, a couple of home games as well. Rams were picked first in the conference. And now, John, this season, last year VCU might have snuck up on some people. This year, no one's going to underestimate them because they were picked first in the league.
They're not going to surprise anybody in this league this year, and that'll make it even more challenging for them. But by the same token, we're a more senior, laden team. We're older, we're more mature. We know what to expect. We know what kind of battle we're going to get on the road, let alone in here at the Stew. So the ladies will just have to be prepared for it and gear themselves ready to play hard and play better, and then focus on the fact that this is what it's all about. These games in the tournament, in the league. Because that's what's going to determine where you go in the A-10 tournament. It's also going to give you a shot at playing in the big tournament at the end of the season.
You see those 3 road games all on national TV, CBS Sports Network, as well as Nesson. And, of course, the home games will have it right here, ESPN Plus, and locally on television, CBS 6.3 for St. Joseph's and Richmond coming up the next couple of home games. More to come here at halftime. It's a 4-point Aggie advantage so far. Second half just moments away between VCU and North Carolina A&T. The Rams trail it by 4 to the Aggies out of the MEAC. Both of these teams favored in their respective leagues, and that league play will start in the new year. It is New Year's Eve, you could call it, the day before New Year's Eve. And the Rams looking to close out 2019 with a win. It's been a good 2019 for VCU, 21-12 in the calendar year, dating back to last season where they were the co-champions of the Atlantic 10 in the regular season. And the way that year last season went, John, they lost 3 in a row at some point in December, then won 13 of 14. Heading into league play, they're looking to do something similar this year.
I made it to the championship game in the tournament and lost. We were courtside there with them, and it was fun to watch, but not fun when you're getting beat like that. And Fordham put up a great finish and beat them in the championship game. But, it was one of those things where you just got to play. You got to play through it all, and I think the Rams are beginning to figure that out. We'll see what happens. This second half is a big, important second half. It'll give them a chance to show their momentum, show how their strengths, and they'll begin to focus on the fact that, ladies, we have to win this game. We know how to do this. Let's go and show them what Ram Ball is all about.
VCU, of course, looking to make it to the NCAA tournament for just the second time in the program. And that Atlantic 10 championship last year was the first regular season title in the program's history. They're looking to duplicate that here in 2019 and into the 2020 calendar year. But it'll start here in the second half against North Carolina A&T. Aggies shot 57% in the first half. They did turn it over 17 times. So you'd have to think head coach Terrell Robinson, his halftime message was to keep better control of the basketball, but continue to get the looks that you're getting on the offensive end. We'll see what they do as we're underway in the half.
If you look at the shooting percentages, that's where the difference is. We're at 20-some, 26, 28%, and they're at 56%. That's what it's all about. Otherwise, it's a pretty even game.
Foy on the drive, and a hand check foul goes against Tara Reed for the first foul of the half. Second personal against Tara, and she joins Sydney Archie in the category with 2 fouls apiece. 4 players, I beg your pardon, for A&T with a pair of fouls in the first half.
That could be the big difference as this game progresses. Let's watch that carefully.
Here's Wilson over to Foy. That's a 3. Off the back rim, Reed with the defensive board.
It's a good sign that she missed one.
Reed gets into the paint herself, flips it up and in off the glass. Tara Reed with the defensive rebound and takes it right to the rim herself.
Pushed her all the way up the floor, got no stoppage by the Aggies, and she scored.
Reed with 9 points to lead VCU thus far. Just her second field goal on that make. They get it in down low, and a whistle and a foul will go against Danielle Hammond, as LaSears was the player with the ball.
Call it on Naira Williams.
And you're correct, John. Naira Williams, her second personal foul.
Yeah, the foul came low, down low where her hands were. That's her second foul.
So that'll send Alexis LaSears to the free throw line. 1 for 1 so far. Had a 3-point play in that first half. And with the friendly roll, makes it 2 of 2 on the day. LaSears, the third leading scorer on the team, averaging just under 10 points at 9.9, averages 6 rebounds to lead the team for A&T. And no good on the second free throw.
Interesting form, the way she pushes it for someone that tall.
Sort of like a shot put
the ball
almost,
would be above her head. She'd be more successful with it, but what do I know?
Lead is 3 for the Aggies. Here's Sydney Archie, and a foul will go against A&T on Archie's drive.
She's going to get 2 shots out of this, too.
Goes against Foy.
I think that's what we're seeing as Beth has said to them, drive the basket. Make them play you man for man. Drive hard, get them in a foul situation. So far, it's worked.
Archie rims out on the free throw attempts. Rams struggling a bit there. They're getting to the line well, but just 7 of 13 so far. Make it 7 of 14. The tap from Reed doesn't find a teammate, and LaSears claims the loose ball. On the other end, the teardrop is off the rim. No good. Saved in bounds from Winters.
Good play.
And the hustle will give a fresh shot clock with 20 seconds for North Carolina A&T. Behind the back, and it's picked up by Hill and then blocked.
Good defense by Hammond that time. Wasn't going to let her try to get that ball and do something with it.
Reed, the backdoor cut to Williams. Great control, finds Hammond, and a foul on the blocked shot. Great ball movement from VCU. Williams on the backdoor cut, and then the cut from the big player Hammond down low to get the good look.
Well, the fouls are beginning to be a problem for the Aggies. LaSears picks up her third. She'll sit down. And now Jones-Pack comes back in the game.
Jones-Pack led North Carolina A&T in scoring in the first half with 8 points. So Danielle Hammond will head to the free throw line. Her first trip there today. Looking for her third point, and she's got it. Danielle Hammond leading all time in VCU program history in terms of field goal percentage. At the top of the list, among the top names on the list in terms of blocks for her career, the senior from Philly. An offensive board for Archie will keep it alive for the Rams.
Closest we've been in a long time. Basket here. Another foul.
This time it'll go against Wilson. Already the third team foul with just under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Sometimes that comes from that slow step. A little bit of tiredness.
A&T has led for 17 and a half minutes so far. Reed steps into a jump shot and puts it in. Tara Reed into double figures with 11 points, and that ties the game at 30.
Ball movement, that's what that was all about. They moved it all the way across the court, skipped it twice, and got the easy layup.
5-1 run for VCU to open the quarter. They come away with the turnover. Rams running. Reed into the paint, and that one misses everything. But the rebound and a foul will go against VCU. Rebound was claimed by Hill underneath.
Foul's on Robinson. Foul's on Robinson, that's her second.
Yeah, second personal against Taya. So now 4 players on the floor for VCU with 2 fouls. Danny Hammond takes a seat, replaced by Sophie Pashagareva. Now the Rams with some full court pressure following the stoppage in play. 3 minutes gone by nearly in the quarter. Around the screen, Winters, and that's another turnover. Reed comes away with it. Pushing the pace. It's deflected out of play. It'll stay with VCU. Turnover number 19 for North Carolina A&T so far.
But Reed did the one thing you don't like players to do, which is jump without knowing where the ball's going. She was trying to make a pass and she was in the air. Luckily, Rams got away with it. Good set play this time. They'll run it right.
Reed, step back jump shot off the rim. No good. Jones-Pack down with the rebound. North Carolina A&T hasn't scored in over 2 minutes, and they're not going to score this trip either. It's a turnover right through the hands of Jones-Pack, who didn't know the pass was coming.
Game's been tied for a while. Rams have a chance to take the lead again. First time since very, very, very early on in this game. I think they were up 5-4 way back when.
8:37 remaining in the first quarter was the largest lead of the game for VCU. They've only led it by 2 and haven't led it for nearly 18 minutes now. 6.5 to play in the third. Here's Archie with the head fake. Williams tripped up, puts it up. The shot won't count, but a foul on the floor will go against A&T. As you see, Maleshka steps into the game in place of Sydney Archie. And it's not going to be a foul. In fact, I think it's just going to be a kicked ball, perhaps. Looking to reset the shot clock.
Well, if it's a foul, they should reset the shot clock.
And it is a foul. Goes against McCray, her third personal.
There you go. Shot clock did get changed. Well, now A&T has 2 players with 3 fouls, I think.
Lassiers, and they're going to switch it to Bostic, so it's not the third foul on McCray. It's going to be the second foul against Bostic, and the Rams can't get it in bounds. Taken away by Floyd.
Play step, and Madison turned ahead.
Here's Chantel Bostic, who has just whistled for that foul. The big knee brace on her left knee. Hands off to Foy. 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. Now Jones-Pack, the pump fake, drives against Pashagareva and draws a foul.
Good big steps that time by Jones-Pack, trying to get to the basket.
Second foul against Pashagareva. 4th team foul against the Rams in the quarter. And they'll say it was in the act of shooting, so Jones-Pack will head to the free throw line, where she can get to double figures if she knocks down both opportunities.
Yeah, she gets it up there high and throws it in. Good form. Get above your head. There you go.
2 for 2 for Jones-Pack. Scored just 2 points last time out in 14 minutes against Clemson in that big win over the ACC foe for North Carolina A&T, their second ever win against Clemson. But she's off to a terrific start here in this one into double figures, leading the way for the Aggies with 10. Nearly a turnover, and it is a turnover. Foy gets in the passing lane, and it's off of VCU. 12th turnover of the day for the Rams.
That just drives you crazy as a coach. And as a spectator, too, I might add.
Here's Jones-Pack feeling confident to the left hand, and she scores off the glass. Shayla Jones-Pack having herself a night so far. She's got 12.
Now they're back up by 4. Okay, ladies, let's make it happen right here.
Robinson hands off to Reed, and a trip will be called against Hill.
And that'll put the Rams on the line. That's the 5th team foul here in the quarter. So Terrell will get a chance to shoot 2 free throws, and that's the 3rd foul again on another player on Hill.
So Reed to the stripe for a pair. She's got 11, along with 3 rebounds, and she puts that one in. Terrell Reed last time out, as we've said, a season high 18. Looking to round into form ahead of conference play, the leading scorer for the team. Battling back from hand injuries early in the year.
You can see some zone pressure here from VCU to slow the pace, bringing it across the court. Make them play. Make them use that whole 30.
Beth O'Boyle shouting out the defensive call from the sideline. Maleshka at the top of the zone with those long arms. Great passing by A&T, but a travel inside against Jones-Pack will send it the other way.
Rams win zone that time and confused them a little bit.
And that'll take us to a timeout. 4:45 to play in the third. It's a 2-point game. Rams looking to take the lead for the first time in a while. Rams trail it by 2. They're in a little bit of a drought over the last 3 minutes. No field goals, but they've gotten to the line a few times. Jeff Milby and John J. Schwartz here with you, hanging out on a Monday night? A couple of nights before the new year. Something jumped out to you on the stat sheet during the break.
Well, the shooting percentages is what really startles you. The Rams are shooting 31% field goal-wise from the field, and A&T shooting 52%. Another turnover. You know, the stats would look like this is a real big margin, but it's only 2 points, which means your defense is doing something right. So the Rams just got to find that offensive rhythm just long enough to get this game under control and let the defense go to work and win it.
I think the big thing so far for VCU, they're +9 in the turnover battle. 21-12 now following that throwaway in the backcourt on the last possession coming out of the timeout. That's something Coach O'Boyle is going to be happy to see as Foy just threw it right off the front of the rim.
She wanted to pass the ball, and the player didn't turn around. She was forced to shoot it. It was out of position.
Petrova fakes the 3, steps into a 2. Off the back rim, Jones-Pack nearly had the rebound. It's going to fall to Foy, in fact. And CC Foy brings it into front court for A&T. And now here's Foy on the baseline drive, and she scores with the right hand right to the rim. CC Foy, she's got 9.
She's a pretty smooth player. Rams again got to set that offense and try to get a play.
Entered the game 65 points from 1,000 for her career for CC Foy. So 56 points away from that milestone now. Haddix-Covington, the drive, can't get the roll. And Hammond couldn't get the offensive board. It's going to come to McCray for the Aggies. And she lost the handle. Taken away. Rams with numbers. Haddix-Covington and Petrova for the layup.
That's how you do it. Give and go, pass it down the floor, don't dribble it.
Olga Petrova running the floor nicely off the turnover. It's a 2-point game as Foy gets to the rim. Jones-Pack right there for the follow. What a night for her. She continues to put it in. She's got 14 now.
Got to block out. That's the key to a situation like that. You got to block out when you're on the opposite side. You're playing weak side against somebody like that. You have to know that somebody's there to catch that rebound.
Here's Hammond backing in against Jones-Pack, and it's blocked. Jones-Pack with some size at 6'3" to battle Danny Hammond, who's listed at 6'4" on the VCU roster.
Danny doesn't see that too often.
Certainly doesn't, and with Sophie Pashagareva listed at 6'6", VCU typically has a size advantage over most of the opponents they play.
Yep.
But so far tonight, the post game has been mostly neutralized from a VCU point of view. Here's Hammond trying to change that again, backing in. They swing it around. Petrova, nice hesitation,
missed,
but way off on the jumper. Robinson, the offensive board, and a foul before the shot clock went off, will bail out VCU. It's going to go against Bostic, I believe, on the push.
And that's another player with 5 fouls. Wilson now has 3 fouls.
Yeah, they're going to call it against Wilson. And so Robinson to the free throw line. You see Beth O'Boyle with some kind words for Olga Petrova as Robinson rims out on that shot.
It's almost like the rim is too small for VCU tonight. There you go.
Second one is good for Taya Robinson.
Well, Beth has tried a lot of combinations to get scorers on the floor.
Robinson now with 8 for VCU. Lead is 3 for A&T. They break the full court press. And then Walton on the drive and a bumping foul against Robinson.
That's 3 on her.
We'll get free throws on this end now for Jasmine Walton. Just 10 of 21 entering play from the foul stripe. 48% to do the math for you. And off to the left on that attempt for the sophomore from Baltimore. Listed at 5'11" on the roster. Tara Reed set to check in after this one. Should go in.
I need to let her in. Beth's right about that.
And it's no good, so Reed will have to stand on the sideline for another minute as Jones-Pack again cleans up the offensive glass and puts it in on the putback. Petrova, that's an offensive foul. And she can't believe it.
Well, I didn't see that either.
Looked like a little bit of a bump.
A little Academy Award there, huh? That's what it looked like to me. It's right in front of us.
Rams just cannot get over the hump so far today. Now it's a 5-point game as Petrova and Robinson each take a seat.
Yeah, I think you need to, I'm not coaching, but if they score here, you better get a timeout and settle it down there with about a minute and a half to go.
Jones-Pack the hot hand, and she knocks it down from the free throw line. Struggling from the foul stripe, but puts in the jump shot in open play. And it's now a 7-point A&T lead. Final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Here's Tara Reed, finds Hammond on the cut. Can't finish. And Walton with the rebound.
They have exploded on us.
A&T can put some separation on the board on this trip. Walton, the screen from Jones-Pack, has it knocked away from behind. But here in the corner, the 3 rims out from Winters. And the rebound comes to Tara Reed. Rams running now, 3-on-2. Haddix-Covington is open in the corner. Short. Winters the board. That would have been a big shot for the Rams from both a score and momentum point of view.
Yeah, that's a big miss.
Final minute of the quarter.
You get to stop here and go down and get a basket. That's what you got to have happen.
McCray, screen from Jones-Pack. McCray, the drive, flips it up, and a foul will send her to the charity stripe. Cynia McCray, the senior from Broadview, Illinois, will head to the free throw line. Sydney Archie checks back in. Sophie Pashagareva checks back in. And for A&T, Foy comes in place of Walton.
Yeah, Sydney Archie's been pretty quiet tonight. They've done a good job of taking her out of the game.
McCray rims out on that attempt. second team preseason All-MEAC. Started 6 games so far heading into action today. Has season high 23 points in an earlier win over East Tennessee State. That free throw makes it an 8-point advantage for A&T. They've led by as many as 9 in the first half. Archie, Williams, Reed, pump fake, drives, puts it up and scores, and the foul. Tara Reed with the finish.
And one.
And we'll head to the free throw line with a big play for the Rams. Cuts it to a 6-point A&T lead. Took the contact and flipped it up with the right hand.
Good move, taking over.
Reed now with 15. She's 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Make it 8 of 9. She's got 16 points on 4 of 10 shooting from the floor.
Now you got to go for the big steal. Got to play defense. Can't let him get an easy one on you.
She's the only Ram in double figures today, Tara Reed. Shot clock is off. Kennedy Boyd checks in for the first time in the second half. McCray finds Jones Pack on another beautiful feed, and Jones Pack scores again. 11 seconds and counting for VCU to try and answer here before the end of the quarter. 5 seconds. Reed on the left-hand dribble and is fouled. Wave off the shot attempt, but A&T in the penalty, so Reed will head to the free throw line with 2.7 remaining in the quarter.
Rams went to sleep down on offensive play there. Pack, you know that Pack Jones is going to be underneath the basket. She's not going to play away from the basket. She's going to be there. You've got to defend that.
Jones Pack with 20 points. It's a season high for her. She had 18 earlier in a win over Johnson and Wales in the second game of the season back on November 9th. Reed converts both opportunities. Here's Foy, and it would have counted had it gone in, but it goes off the top of the backboard, and that'll end the quarter. Rams battling with A&T, but just unable to get over the hump and get into the lead. It's a 5-point game in favor of the Aggies as we head to the fourth.
You care about the planet, but you don't drink like it. By 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. Britta, drink like you care.
Is there a problem here?
You're in a no parking zone.
Oh, I didn't know.
You didn't see the sign?
That wasn't there earlier.
Really?
In Italy, they let you park anywhere.
Have a good day, sir.
Geico Sequels. The savings keep on going.
We've all been here before. The conference room, the speakerphone, the missing files. Not in the room, then you're not in the know. Well, this has been nice, but can we not? How about we invite everyone you work with to work together? Be seen, be heard, be there when you're not. Share your files and your opinion, and maybe even a happy little fruit guy. When you're ready to unleash the power of your team, open Teams.
UFC 247. Fight on ESPNplus.com/PPV.
Are you here for the looks or these looks? Into sharing the love or sending it? Clippers Heat Friday on ESPN. Ball for all.
We've got a special visitor tonight. Straight from the San Diego Zoo, a Cenarius vulture. You ever pet a vulture?
No.
His beak could pierce the hide of a horse.
Spend every night with Jimmy Kimmel. Weeknights on ABC. The complete 30 for 30 library is exclusively on ESPN Plus.
Coach Valvano was a big dreamer.
Are you a team of destiny?
I'd say it's starting to look like it.
Stream, Survive, and Advance, and hundreds of other exclusive originals on ESPN Plus.
Set to begin. VCU looking at a 5-point deficit against North Carolina A&T. Jayla Jones-Pack, I beg your pardon. The junior transfer from Seton Hall from Amityville, New York, has been a horror show from a VCU point of view. She's got 20 points, and that's her career high, dating back to her time with the Pirates up in New Jersey. She's been spectacular down low, and the Rams have yet to really be able to answer as Haddix Covington in a trap gets out of trouble. Under 10 to shoot here for VCU, and it's knocked away by Foy.
Yeah, Sydney Archie has really taken her out of the game. They've really forced her to get pretty far away from the basket and not let her get in position where she can make things happen.
But
That's been one observation.
As Williams, the teardrop off the back rim, and that'll be A&T basketball. Jayla Jones-Pack, 20 points, 8 of 8 from the floor, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. She's got 4 rebounds as well. Off the bench.
She's been tremendous. She really has put on quite a performance. And she's only got 1 foul against her, whereas there were the 5 other players with 3 fouls. That may yet be an issue.
McCray kicks it to the corner. Here's Foy for 3. Big shot for A&T to push the lead back to 8. Robinson finds Pasha Gareva in a crowd. They swing it around to Reed.
Sydney's got a mismatch. Should take it.
Reed, the baseline shot short. Archie comes up with the loose ball rebound. Here's Robinson off the back rim. Archie again battling for it, but Foy comes away with the ball. A basket here would push it to double figures for the first time tonight.
Yeah, that shooting percentage just jumps at you, jumps off that stat sheet. 30 to 54. That really does hurt.
Foy around a screen. Here's Wilson. 2 on the shot clock, and it's going to be a shot clock violation. The second one today against A&T. Good defensive possession for VCU.
Well, the defense really hadn't been all that rocky. Even though you're down by 8 points, you've not been in control of the offense. The offense is what's really hurting you. They're shooting 18 for 33. That's pretty good.
Hammond flashes open against this zone defense. Here's Reed for 3, and that's good. Sarah Reed from downtown.
That's a big basket right now. 7:56. You're down by 5. You just got a big 3. Now you really got to get a stop here.
Reed's got 21. That's her new season high. Back-to-back games with a season high for Reed, and a turnover here against A&T with LaSears traveling. Here's a look at the Sarah Reed three-pointer. That one was beyond the new men's line. A deep 3 for Reed. And she's had the hot hand for the Rams. 5 of 12 from the floor. Has gotten to the free throw line 11 times. Has knocked down 10 of them.
All right, be patient. Get a good set. Get a good position and make it happen.
Here's Reed again. She's got a height advantage on Wilson. Reed, hesitation. And the jumper is good. Tara Reed heating up here in the fourth quarter. She's got 23.
Take over there, Miss Australia. That's New Zealand. That's what you got to do. Somebody has to take over. She's doing just that.
Lead is 3 for A&T. They've led the entire way in the second half and have led since the first quarter. Rams have gotten within 2 on a couple of occasions. On the other end, Walton, no good. Offensive board. McCray puts it in and a foul. An answer for the Aggies.
They've had an answer all night. Very patient with the basketball. Went for the good play, got it, got a rebound, laid it up, gets an and one.
Cindy McCray with 7 points, along with 3 rebounds and 2 assists. A nice floor game for the senior. Substitution here for A&T as Walton will take a seat, replaced by Hill in the lineup. So some size on the floor for the Aggies. LaSears at 6'3", Hill at 6'2". McCray converts the and one opportunity for the old-fashioned three-point play, and it's back to a 6-point lead. Full court press. Rams get across the timeline with Archie. Here's Reed into the paint, and she's fouled again.
That'll be 4 on Hill. I mean, on LaSears. If that is on LaSears.
They're going to give it to Hill, and that's her 4th as well. So now Hill with 4 fouls, several players for A&T with 3. And Tara Reed can continue.
She's really put this team on her shoulders in the last couple of minutes.
Her terrific scoring night. She has indeed, John. Knocks down both free throws there.
And the amazing thing is the Rams have kept it close. Being outshot almost 2-1 percentage-wise. They've done just a great job of playing really good defense and not getting too trapped in this thing, too lost in it. And they've stayed tough, kept it close.
Reed's got 25. 6.5 to play. And a whistle and a foul underneath will go against VCU.
To give A&T credit, they are just pounding it on us.
Foul goes against Hammond. That's number 2 against her. And McCray will head right back to the free throw line.
The other stat that jumps off the page is the rebounding stat, 32-20. The Rams have had almost no second shots. If you looked at the defensive rebounding stat, that one is just a killer. It's like 22-10. That's pretty tough.
23-9 is the defensive rebound number at this very moment in favor of A&T.
I was letting my accounting degree help me just guess.
Couple of big misses for North Carolina A&T. McCray 0 for 2 that trip. It'll keep it a 4-point game.
Boy, Terrell's really hot about that. He's right too, but we'll get away with it.
Archie, the drive, draws some big contact, and a foul will send Taya Robinson to the free throw line. Foul will go against LaSears, and that's number 4 against her now. So 2 players for A&T with 4 fouls as Madison Haddix-Covington checks back in.
Yeah, but Jones Pack comes back in. She's only got, I think, 1 foul on her.
So 2 shots here for Taya Robinson.
Could be the difference for it's all over.
And that gives her 9 points. She can get into double figures with this next one.
You know, this is one of those scrappy games that you win at the end, and it really changes your whole season.
10 points for Taya. Reed and Robinson doing the damage again for VCU. They are both in double figures. 2-point game. A&T makes a run. The Rams have made a run to get right back in it all night, but they have not taken the lead since the first quarter. Here's Foy for 3, and that's good. Another big shot for CC Foy to put the lead back up to 5. Foy's got 15.
Quite a player.
Archie into the paint, off the glass, and good.
Well, it says she's been quiet most of the night. That's a good play.
Just her second basket, she's got 4 points. Underneath, Jones Pack misses that time, her first miss of the day. Pushing the pace is VCU. Here's Sydney Archie, puts up the 2-point shot and sinks it. Sydney Archie cuts it to 1, back-to-back baskets for Archie, and a timeout for North Carolina A&T.
And Terrell has got his face in a referee's face over there, not happy at all.
VCU on a run. They've connected on each of their last 4 shots, and they've cut the lead to 1. Anybody's game with 5 minutes to play in the 4th.
Geographic.
What a good game we have tonight at the Siegel Center. Final game of 2019 for each of these clubs, and neither is looking to relinquish a loss. It's a 1-point game. A&T with the lead. They've led just about the entire way since the early moments of the first quarter. But VCU has battled the entire way. No one has led by double figures yet. Largest lead has been 9 in favor of the Aggies.
Rams show that zone again.
And Danielle Hammond with a block against Winters on the drive. And we're going to take another timeout. Back-to-back timeouts. It's still a 1-point game as we move along here in the fourth quarter.
ESPN can give you ESPN Daily. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
One-point game, under 5 to play. North Carolina A&T with 8 seconds on the shot clock. They've had 2 shot clock violations already as Jones-Pack has it swatted away by Hammond. Couple of blocks for Danny Hammond in the last few moments. And VCU comes away with the ball. A chance to take the lead with a basket for the first time since the early moments. As the loose ball goes out of bounds, it'll stay with VCU. Great hustle from Micaiah Wilson.
You got 10 young ladies really going at it hard right now. This is really fun to watch. They're really giving it all they got, all 10 of them. Nobody backing down.
Here's Tara Reed. She's had the hot hand, 25 points. Under 10 to shoot. Reed around the screen. Now sets one for Archie to the corner. Here's Robinson for 3. Way too strong, and the rebound for Winters.
It was almost like they were all looking to see who's going to shoot the ball, and they got down to the last second.
Winters for 3 on the other end, and she knocks it down. Deja Winters from downtown. 4 of 8 for North Carolina A&T as Reed answers on the other end, and the foul. And the free throw, a chance to tie her career high.
And one. Putting on quite a performance tonight, didn't she?
Up ahead of the field, Robinson with the baseball pass ahead. Reed draws the contact, converts. This would give her 28. She had 28 points this time last year against Delaware State. But she can't do it. Follows her own shot, but Jones-Pack comes away with the ball. Now it's still loose on the floor, and it's going to be a tie possession. Arrow favors the Aggies.
They were trying to call timeout on the floor. Didn't get it. Got the jump ball, which is really good because the next possession goes to VCU if that happens again.
Pashagareva checks in for Hammond for VCU, and on the other side, Jones-Pack and McCray head to the bench for A&T.
Oh, what a walk.
And now a travel in the backcourt. Another turnover forced by VCU. That's 25 on the night. And the Rams will take possession again with a chance to tie the game or take the lead.
Tara Robinson getting in the right position to play defense. And that young lady from A&T caught it and couldn't get the ball on the floor, had to keep walking.
Yeah, Leon Hill, Tara Robinson right there, causing just a moment's hesitation where she shuffled her feet. On the inbound, the give and go. Here's Reed from the corner. Short. Tries to follow her own shot. Hill with the rebound. Rams just cannot quite get over the hump. To the corner. Here's Winters for 3 and a foul. An opportunity for a 4-point play. A huge shot for North Carolina A&T.
Wow. You talk about a play to make it happen. That really was it. Unbelievable.
Deja Winters with back-to-back three-pointers.
You know, you miss one here that makes a difference for us, for VCU, and you go down the other way.
Could be a 7-point swing. If she knocks down the free throw, she can't. So it's a 6-point swing and a 5-point lead. Robinson, the jab step. A screen from Hammond. Williams, guarded by Wilson. Now Reed. Reed into the paint, a foul, and she'll head back to the free throw line.
She really wanted that and one, didn't she?
Tara Reed has been aggressive from the jump. Foy with the foul. This free throw would tie Tara Reid's career high. 28 points. And now for a new career mark. 29, the best scoring night in Tara Reid's VCU career. And she cuts the A&T lead to 3 with 3 minutes to play.
Rams are going to play man for man here.
Terrell Robinson, the head coach for the Aggies, off the bench, calling out the play. And the floater is good from Wilson. A lovely teardrop in the lane, pushes it back to 5. And a turnover. The pick and roll, Taya Robinson too high on the pass, looking for Hammond. We'll send it back the other way, and Beth O'Boyle, following that play, wants to take some time to talk about it.
The effort was right. It was right there. Just a little bit too far over her head.
What a game. VCU just cannot quite complete the comeback. They've been within 2 several times.
Yeah, they keep getting closer and closer, and then all of a sudden there's a turnover, there's a missed shot, and North Carolina A&T goes down, hits a big 3, or that big four-shot opportunity.
Yeah, Deja Winters with a couple of big three-pointers. Foy with some big baskets to answer VCU at nearly every turn.
Yep. 2 minutes, 35 seconds to go. Rams down by 5.
And you can see the quality in both of these teams.
A lot
tonight.
can happen. A lot can happen right here. You'll get full court pressure from VCU. Want to force A&T to use as much clock coming up. She walked again, it looked like.
Yeah, the
got away with it.
Ram bench wanted to travel there.
They got away with steps.
And looks like A&T happy to use the clock here, leading by 5 points.
Yep, they will.
Winters around a curl. Here's Hill underneath, who scores. Leon Hill makes it a 7-point game. Rams against it now. Robinson kicks it to Reed. Underneath Hammond, and it'll stay with VCU.
At this point, with 2 minutes to go, you better be taking some shots. The three-pointer is what brings you back.
Reed to inbound. She gets it into Robinson. Driving against Winters. Takes some contact, no whistle. And A&T comes away with it for the moment. Williams on the floor, and the Rams have possession. Here's Naira Williams to the baseline. Kicks it to Robinson. Has it stuffed by Hill. And a foul in the backcourt against Naira Williams. Rams are not yet in the penalty. That's just the 4th team foul. And 4th personal against Naira Williams as well.
Ball bounced that way a couple times. Couldn't get the ball to convert. That's always tough in this situation.
Lasiers and Hill with 4 fouls each for A&T. And now Naira Williams, the first Ram with 4 personals. Final 95 seconds of regulation. A bucket here would maybe put it out of reach for VCU. A key defensive possession. Trap in the backcourt. They get it to Hill. Here's Foy from the corner. No good. Winters the offensive rebound.
Yeah, that might be enough right there.
They can hold it to inside the final minute.
Beth is yelling for a foul. Didn't get it.
Foy from the corner. I beg your pardon, that was Winters from the corner. It rolled out. Rams need a basket. Reed. Short. Out of bounds. And it'll stay with VCU. 54.7 to play. And with 2 timeouts. Actually, no, it's a huddle for the substitution here.
She hurt herself. What are they calling? Calling a foul? Calling a timeout? Nope. Everybody back.
Yeah, and as you said, looks like Lasiers hobbling her way to the bench for A&T. It's VCU basketball, a full shot clock deflected out of play by Winters.
Here's you got to catch and shoot quickly. You're not going to have a lot of time to go set a play. You got to catch and take that bomb and shoot it.
Williams to inbound again. Here's Reed. Reed, cross-court pass to Williams. Up to Archie for three. Too strong. And Jones-Pack with the defensive rebound. And a foul in the backcourt. And that'll be number 5 against Naira Williams. She has fouled out. And that foul puts VCU in the penalty. And so Micaiah Wilson will head to the free throw line with a chance to put this game on ice just about with 40.8 to play.
A lot of hustling by both teams, giving it a big effort. A&T just flat out outshot the Rams. That's the big number in this one. You had to draw one line, that's it.
54% shooting for North Carolina A&T. And they have struggled from the free throw line now, just 10 of 18.
Yeah, but that 54 from the field, and Rams with 31%.
And now a timeout for Beth O'Boyle, one of her 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, this gets the ball advanced to half court. It's under a minute to go.
What do you think here? You got to get Reed coming off of a screen, coming off the inbounds pass, put up a shot really quickly.
Well, you get a shot, you get a quick foul, and hopefully you get another opportunity. It's tough, but it can be done. It could be done.
Time
never
very
say
much
never
against VCU. Rams looking to avoid falling to 5-8 on the season, and a win here for A&T as it stands would make them 8-4. Again, both of these teams.
Well, for fans who may not know it, but A&T was pre-seed number 1 in the MEAC, so this is a pretty good team. They beat Clemson. It says a lot on the road.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say both teams were preseason favorites in their respective leagues.
Yep.
And this is the final non-conference game for both.
They got good size and tremendous shooters.
They get it into Hammond. Hammond backing her way to the basket and draws a foul. So they go down low to Danny out of the timeout. Jones-Pack whistled for her 3rd foul. And after these free throws make or miss, it's going to have to be a foul from VCU. Just a 7.4 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Assuming A&T comes away with possession. Here's the free throw. Rattles in. 8-point lead. Off the back rim. A&T with the board with Hill. And the foul is going to go against Reed in the backcourt. It'll send Wilson back to the free throw line. Wilson with 6 points. 2 of 2 from the foul line. That was her only trip just moments ago. Jones-Pack with 20 to lead A&T. Foy with 15 right behind her in the scoring category. And Winters with 9. McCray with 8. The leading scorers for North Carolina A&T in what appears to be a winning effort. Unless things change drastically here in the closing seconds. Reed with a career high at 29 to lead the way for VCU. But she didn't have a ton of help in that category. Robinson, the only other player in double figures with 10. And the final timeout here for VCU will advance the ball to the front court with just under 35 seconds to play. It's been a terrific ball game. Great effort from both teams.
Yeah, you really did have a lot of good performances tonight. Put up a lot of effort on the part of both clubs. And, you know, this kind of game you remember because you played one of the best. You know, some team is going to get some rating points. Team is going to lead their league. So it's something to remember. That's what it takes to beat a good team, is to beat the team that's the best in another league. And the Rams gave it all they got. Not over yet, but miracle of miracles. We'll take them if we can get them.
Yeah, this is a veteran, talented A&T squad. They lost just 3 players from last season, returning 10, including all of their significant contributors. They were picked first in the MEAC, as we've said. That's the 5th time under Terrell Robinson where they were the preseason favorite in the league. And they faced 6 teams this year, including VCU, that went to the postseason last year. 4 NCAA tournament teams and 2 NIT teams. Looking to...
Good, strong squad. What was it, 6 seniors and 2 juniors or something like that?
Looking to go...
Pretty good.
So looking to make a run in the MEAC again. They went undefeated last year in the regular season for the first time in program history. but ultimately fell in the second round of the conference tournament. Haddix Covington throws it away out of the inbound, out of the timeout, and that just about will do it. And Coach Robinson for A&T is going to take a timeout to advance the ball just to make certain of this scoring margin. It's a 9-point advantage.
They get to advance the ball to half court. That's a good rule with under a minute.
It's the same rule in the NBA. The men.
It's made some differences in some games since they've started that rule over the last couple of years.
The men in the NCAA do not do it yet. That might be something that they look to change in the coming years as they continue from a large picture point of view to try and get basketball all on the same set of rules, depending on no matter the level, rather. It's going to be another tough loss for VCU, it appears. They had that buzzer beater loss to Cincinnati here at home earlier last month. They've lost on the road to several talented teams, including USF, Seton Hall, Middle Tennessee, their last loss. As the foul here will go against the Rams and send Winters to the free throw line as the shot clock turns off. As we saw at halftime, VCU will hit the road after this one. They'll take on Rhode Island on national television, CBS Sports Network. And we'll have it here for you against St. Joseph's on January 8th for the next home game. The first conference home game of the year. Deja Winters now has 10.
Biggest lead of the night.
Indeed it is. First time that either team has gotten to a double-digit advantage. It's been that kind of game. Close, hard-fought. Robinson looking for some consolation here late. Petrova on the step back. Missed everything. And that's out of play to the Aggies, who are going to come away with their first ever win against VCU. These two clubs have met 5 times in history, including last season, when it was a close victory for VCU.
Well, you know, there's got to be some satisfaction in Terrell coming in here and winning one. He spent 3-4 years here as an assistant head coach. And there's always a pleasure in coming back. Before the game, he said to me, don't beat me up too bad.
So there's your final score. North Carolina A&T 69, VCU 58. The Rams fall to 5-8 on the season. As we turn the page to 2020 and turn the page to conference play for both of these squads. What a win for A&T on the road, and a very difficult loss for the Rams. A hard-fought game. As you said, John, big performances all across the board for both sides, including a career high for Tara Reid in a losing effort. She had 29, 7 of 16 from the floor, 14 of 16 from the free throw line to go along with 5 rebounds. That was tied for the team lead. Robinson, the only other player for VCU in double figures with 10. And for A&T, Jones Pack led the way with 20. Foy with 15 and Winters with 11. The only 3 players in double figures for the Aggies. Hill led the way in rebounding for A&T with 7. North Carolina A&T shot 54%, VCU 31%, as head coach Beth O'Boyle steps over to share her post-game thoughts. So the final score, North Carolina A&T 69, VCU 58, a hard-fought, high-quality game that goes the way of the visitors. Coach, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and obviously this great band that we have in the Peppas. Thanks for spending your holidays with us. We love you. You know, a really tough one. We know that this is a really well-coached and great team. A&T's having a great season, and we were going to have to play a hard-fought 40-minute game to earn a win. I got to give a lot of credit to A&T.
Obviously, the big positive on the offensive end, Tara Reid, a career high for her. She had 29 points, 7 of 16 from the floor. A great night for her. Your thoughts on her display?
Yeah, I think she did a great job of getting to the basket, and I thought the team did a good job of getting to the foul line as well, and we're keep on moving in the right direction, getting us ready for Rhode Island next week.
This will close a very successful 2019 for your club. We'll turn the page to Atlantic 10 play in the new year. Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thanks for everyone coming.
All right, that was Beth O'Boyle with her thoughts following the loss for VCU. That'll do it for us this evening. We'll wrap it up. The final score, North Carolina A&T 69, VCU 58. For John J. Schwartz, thanks for your time. Enjoyed having you. My name's Jeff Bilby, Christian Fox, our entire crew. Thanks so much for joining us from the Siegel Center.